So, yeah, it's been a while.
Why did you leave me?
It's your outfit, dude.
Hey guys, it's me, Boosham0, everyone's favorite RWBY tuber. Apparently, one of the only good RWBY critics. I don't know where I gained that reputation from. It seems I've become known for RWBY. If I type in suggested tags, Boosham0 RWBY is like the #1 one. So like, yeah, sure. I'm the greatest RWBY critic of all time per Reddit and my tags. But that's gonna end today because I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of fed up with RWBY. I'm not exactly happy with what's going on. I'm not the world's biggest fan anymore. I've been trying to fight a lot with like my inner demons, you know, on some Oscar and Ozpin type shit. Trying to like keep myself sane. I've tried to find the positive in RWBY. You know, I made that video, Volume 9 is the best volume of RWBY. Again, in spite of how bad RWBY is, trying to point out the good that this volume did. In comparison to everything else RWBY did, Volume 9 is the best volume of RWBY in my opinion. I obviously have problems with it. In the video, you can hear me say my problems, but I've had these growing issues because in my mind, I, as a RWBY fan, have been trying to justify reasons for liking it to continue to be a fan of RWBY in the modern day, hoping that one day, maybe we'll be rewarded. Maybe one day it'll get turned around. And then they made RWBY X Justice League Part 2. And at this point, I'm kind of fed up. I'm kind of done.
Poison, power absorbing, silencing, DNA splicer, kryptonite, whatever fights Lanner's ring.
Who wrote this?
It's great, right?
As you can tell by my community post, the video that I was originally going to make immediately after RWBY X Justice League Part 2 was kind of canceled. By the way, if you want to watch that, you should click this little join button. I'm making all of my scrapped videos available for my members. And once you get in there, you can do pretty much whatever you want with the video when you see it. Plus, you can see me editing these videos in members-only streams. Lots of members-only content in there. You should go check that out. I've changed my memberships a lot, so there's only one tier. You should go check that out. But the point being, I've kind of reached my limit with what I'm willing to talk about with RWBY. I'm sort of done mentally. You know what I said, Abe? I said in that video that I'm probably likely, unless it's going to be Volume 10, not talk about RWBY ever again. But liar Sham0 forgot that he has 2 RWBY videos locked up in the vault. So
you keep letting him get away with this.
But this is gonna be one of them now. I thought I was out. I thought I was out, boys. I thought I was free from the shackles of RWBY, but then they dropped this.
Let's just laugh at him now.
I've kind of reached my limit, and I think based off of recent events, the fan base, and more importantly, Rooster Teeth itself, might be done too. But let's talk about it. Before we even start, I'm gonna have to start with what pushed me over the edge to begin with. That is, of course, Justice League X RWBY, Dawn of Heroes and Huntsman, and my ball sack itches. The biggest mistake known to man since the other worst travesty that has ever happened in our history. RWBY X Justice League Part 1.
I have powers on their world, Diana. I never wanted powers.
No.
I didn't...
And I'll be honest with you, here's my short little review. It's better than the first one by virtue of it being not boring but instead offensive. The costumes overall for Team RWBY are better than the ones that the Justice League got when they went to their world. The plot's equally as stupid, has the dumbest plot twist of all time. It was Watts. They try to trick you with it. They try to like summarize like who could have been the mastermind behind it. It was Watts. You have to have a brain made of rocks if you think if it was anyone else other than Watts.
Could it be Salem? It's kind of her thing.
What are you, fucking stupid?
And they do character arcs that realistically should have existed pre-Volume 9, honestly, before any of this happened. And honestly, RWBY X Justice League is everything that's wrong with RWBY going forward. From the fact that it was funded by Warner Brothers, but isn't even on Max until months after it's already out on different streaming services, and not the one where the RWBY series itself actually is, therefore causing brand confusion, an entire topic that will be frequent throughout the rest of this video. The fact that it's not even something that the RWBY fans want, further splitting them down the middle as if they already had done that before, another topic that's been frequent throughout the RWBY community, and the fact that it has character arcs that are resolved in this movie that should have been throughout the rest of the series. All of these things are evident of what RWBY has become. Because honestly, I don't even know if Volume 10 is gonna happen. It's so up in the air at this point that I'm confident in saying that RWBY X Justice League might be the last piece of RWBY media if you don't count the VTuber. And oh my god, we'll get to the VTuber at the end of this video.
RWBY, you can't keep doing this.
I mean, this is a good look, man.
So just to clear up some rumors about RWBY X Justice League, no, this wasn't a commission by Warner Brothers. The RWBY team brought it up to Warner Brothers as a way to give animators work, you know, just in case RWBY Volume 10 didn't happen. But the funding was from Warner Brothers. So despite the fact that they're the ones who brought it to them, the funding was entirely separate from the rest of the volumes. So it wasn't as if funding was being taken away from RWBY Volume 9. It was just that more work was being provided to them by the existence of RWBY X Justice League. So at the very least, you could say that, yeah, RWBY X Justice League had a reason to exist so long as animators had work. If only there weren't some other controversies happening with animators leaving RWBY anyway. Uh-oh. That's awkward. So that's resolved. That's cleared up. You might be able to be led to believe that, yeah, maybe there's hope that there could be more RWBY. As you can see in RWBY X Justice League Part 2, the story that takes place after the events of Volume 9, because they're going through the desert, it's really up in the air whether or not the events of RWBY X Justice League take place immediately after they leave the Neverland world, or if it's after they've already arrived in the city. It's in this weird ground, almost as if it was written like in conception with Volume 9 instead of it being done. Really odd, really weird.
How are things in the city?
Same as ever. People don't like taking help from Schnees, as you can imagine.
Filthy Schnees! Not so high and mighty now, are you?
Especially now that it makes the events of the movies canon, which again is just awful decision making. Makes it even worse as a viewing experience, because now I have to say that yes, indeed, the events where the grown-ass woman, Jessica Cruz, thirsts after Jean, a teenager, are canon to the story. Sure, man. Yeah, all right. Sure. Thanks, Rooster Teeth.
Are Jean and his team with you?
No, it's just us.
But again, this all brings us to the topic of the fact that there is no Volume 10 in sight. None. The only hope they have is the fact that at RTX they showed us what could have been the end of Volume 9. This like little subtle way of doing this is not the way you should be going at all. No, I don't think this is what you should be doing. But again, communication isn't exactly Rooster Teeth's strong suit.
Yo, holy shit, he dead!
General brand identity also isn't their strong suit, considering that Carrie Shawcross decided to drop a bomb that really upset the entire RWBY community. Yeah, you know that thing that made them popular? Their animation series, their net series that were made on YouTube, the platform that got them popular in the first place? Yeah, none of that anymore. It's all going behind a paywall on their website that barely works. If you want to watch it in any convenient way, I guess you could use their broken ass website that requires an ad blocker to even use, or you could use their terrible, awfully optimized app that barely ever works. I tried using that thing for a while. Never again. It was during Volume 8, I was trying to catch up with everything weekly. It was just worth it to wait. Don't even bother with it, because it barely ever worked. The player's bad. There's a lot of people who have general complaints about the Rooster Teeth app and Rooster Teeth's site in general. The fact that there's already a paywall, and honestly the fact that they get a lot of their views on their YouTube channel from the animation, the argument that they make that, oh, we're not getting enough views from CPM to justify having them on the site. You could just put them behind a paywall and then have them up there on YouTube for free later on anyway. You know, the thing that you were already doing. But again, brand confusion. At the very least, I could watch all of RWBY on Rooster Teeth, right? Right? No, you can't. Because if you want to watch Volume 9, you can only watch that on Crunchyroll. Not on Rooster Teeth's site, but on Crunchyroll, which is again the fault of licensing rights they made. Sure, okay, but at least RWBY X Justice League is on Crunchyroll, right? No, it's not. It's actually on Max, and that's only months after it's been available only through renting or buying on Amazon, not on Rooster Teeth, the site where all of your stuff should be. If you want us to pay for your subscription service, maybe have all of your stuff in one place. But as it stands, I can't do that. I gotta get several different subscription services, including Max, in order to watch all of the stuff that's available, and apparently with material that's canon to your story.
Well, that seems reasonable.
It doesn't even make any sense. Either have it all on Max, either have it all on Rooster Teeth, or have all of RWBY on Crunchyroll. At this point, we're already going into the issue with streaming services as a problem already, but now you, with your brand identity, is already getting confused. There's so many issues going on, so many controversies with Rooster Teeth anyway. Animators are leaving Death Battle, which already isn't a good sign for RWBY going forward, especially given already existing controversies with animators to begin with. I don't think it's looking good for us, guys, at all. So you want to know, with all that information, where RWBY's stocks are going. Is it going towards Volume 10? Is it going towards the thing that everyone actually wants? The movies at the very least have the excuse of being tied in with Warner Brothers to give the animators work, but is that enough to justify the existence? Are we getting the Volume 10? No, because you know what's the future of RWBY now? You know where we're gonna get all of our RWBY content from? Motherfucking RWBY VT.
Whoa! Hey everybody! Welcome back! What's up? I hope you have had a wonderful week.
That's right, everybody. RWBY created a VTuber. The voice actress for RWBY is a VTuber. And honestly, when I was originally making the video for RWBY X Justice League Part 2, she wasn't even streaming. They made like 7 videos promoting her, and there wasn't even like a single stream available. Now that there is, like, she streams from Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But again, they were trying to promote it being available not only on Twitch, but again on their broken ass website, because why would anybody do that? Is that included in the brand, or is that yet another thing that I have to access through an entirely different site? It's just all over the place at this point. To be a fan of RWBY, to support it, I have to go through all these avenues. All these avenues that honestly shouldn't even be an issue to begin with. It's frustrating. I'm getting whipped it fucked around all the time just to get some hope that maybe the series that I started out loving, or at least seeing a bright future in, the series that inspired me that one day I could be a creator of my own independent show. All of these things that became my reason for liking RWBY, it's getting really hard to justify it. A lot of these RWBY fans are just coping. Very blatantly, they're coping, holding on to some hope that maybe for their dedication they will get rewarded. And I'll be honest with you folks, you ain't getting rewarded for shit. It's kind of RWBOver for us all. As much positive as I tried to be on this channel, as much as I tried to see the good side of what RWBY was trying to do, at this point with all of Rooster Teeth's weird practices and the brand confusion and their strange decisions, I don't think it's worth it anymore. Until I see that Volume 10's confirmed, I don't have any hope for RWBY going forward. And it sucks to say, because to begin with, that first video I made was made with hope that maybe one day things would be different. And I realize I've just been led along like the rest of us. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on RWBY. It's sad that it had to go out on this sort of note. Again, I don't know if I'll ever make another RWBY video. I just don't see it being worth it. I am looking forward to making the eventual video about this, because again, I really can't escape it now, can I? I always think I'm out. And then they pull me back in. Honestly, I'd rather put my focus into other things. Considering this video is tangentially related to RWBY X Justice League, I'm planning on making a video covering every DCEU film, a video talking about every MCU film, and honestly trying to spread out my content forward. I made a lot of anime content last year, and that has gotten me labeled as a AniTuber, and I kind of want to break the shackles of AniTube. So if there's any topics you want me to see me cover, any shows, any pieces of media you want to see me talk about, leave it in the comments below. I'm curious what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching and supporting and sticking around, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.